This fishing boat captain announces his arrival to the portmaster. An onboard inspector verifies the vessel's documentation, its gear and its catch. The docking goes smoothly. This fish wholesaler awaits the arrival of a vessel laden with fish that he's contracted to process and export. And the port inspector checks the background of an arriving vessel using information from other ports in the region. The vessel wants to hire port facilities to offload its catch. 3 ports in 3 parts of the world with one thing in common. All have adopted and enforce measures to ensure that all fishing vessels using their ports have caught their fish legally. By asking the right questions, checking documentation, and sharing information with neighbouring countries and regional fisheries bodies, they combine to serve as a major offensive against illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, IUU, activities that fall into the realm of environmental crime. The growing international demand for fish and its potential to bring enormous prices at the market makes IUU fishing more and more enticing to criminals. Illegal fishing operations are sophisticated, organized, and the stakes are high. IUU fishing operators prey upon developing nations where all too often ports provide a convenient entry point for illegal catches. The international community has responded to this situation with increased determination over the last decade. The International Plan of Action to Combat IUU Fishing, adopted by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, in 2001, focused attention on the crucial role of ports in this fight. In 2005, FAO members endorsed a model scheme on port-state measures to combat IUU fishing, designed to serve as a guide and to set a minimum standard for individual countries to develop or strengthen their national measures. It also underscored the need for regional fishery bodies to provide guidance for harmonizing those measures. At the FAO Committee on Fisheries in March 2007, the international community gave its firm support to using the FAO International Plan of Action on IUU fishing and the FAO Model Scheme to combat IUU fishing as the basis for an international binding agreement. After 4 intense rounds of negotiation in 2008 and 2009, the FAO Conference adopted the binding agreement on port-state measures in November 2009. It will take effect after 25 countries have deposited their instruments of ratification or accession with FAO. Just think what having these strong and effective port-state measures means to the management of the world's fisheries. Stronger port-state measures will provide the avenues for closing ports of non-compliance, thus decreasing the possibility of landing and marketing illegally caught fish. As ports expand their monitoring and enforcement roles, and with regional fishery bodies sharing information about illegal activities, IUU fishing operators will be forced to go longer and longer distances looking for ports of non-compliance that will accept them. As they have less and less access to port services or to the markets, they will lose more and more of their profit. As profits decrease, so will the appeal to perpetuate illegal activity. In addition, in an even larger picture, these port state measures will link with other activities for combating IUU fishing, such as prohibiting trade in illegally caught fish, satellite monitoring of fishing vessels, and cooperation among countries in prosecuting offenders. FAO has launched a major capacity development effort to help countries prepare themselves to implement the port state measures foreseen in the model scheme on port state measures and those expanded in the binding agreement. Supporting regional and international cooperation and harmonizing measures regionally among port states clears the way forward for strengthening fisheries governance for all, beyond what is possible for individual countries acting alone. It also equalizes opportunities for developing countries. They can promote their ports for the services they provide, supporting their fishing industries and in turn their national economies. That is why FAO supported the development of the International Plan of Action to combat IUU fishing and the model scheme on port state measures, facilitated the conclusion of a binding agreement, and initiated activities around the world to build national capacity in the port state measures. All meant to provide the support needed for countries to ensure their ports are part of the solution to combating IUU fishing, not part of the problem.